Good morning. My name is Kohler McInnis, and I was asked to spend a few minutes this morning and speak to you about Roundup. And the reason that I was asked to speak to you about Roundup is because up until a year ago, I was not a fan of Roundup. But I did do a 180-degree turn. I became a fan, and after being on the Roundup board for the last year, I am now an advocate for Roundup. So the question asked is, why were you not a fan of Roundup? And I kind of summarize that with my 3 didn'ts, and I'll answer my 3 didn'ts. The first one is I didn't understand who was receiving these funds and for what purpose. Well, it turns out that each month the Roundup board meets. They have the Roundup funds collected for that month. 30% of those funds are earmarked each month for the most needy in our communities. And those funds are channeled through 2 different vehicles. In La Plata County, that's the Community Emergency Assistance Coalition, and in Archuleta County, it's the Pagosa Outreach Connections. Well, that still leaves 70%. And there's many different organizations with different purposes that apply for those funds. And I can tell you that those organizations and those purposes are as diverse as you can imagine. My second is I didn't know the impact these funds would have. Well, about the second month that I was enrolled in Roundup, I was curious of what portion of my electric bill would be for Roundup. So I looked at my bill, and the total contribution to Roundup for that month was 21 cents. Now I have to be honest with you. I can't remember the last time that I spent less than 25 cents on anything other than a parking meter. If you are an investor or you're looking for an investment, it doesn't get better than this, because that 21 cents translated into $7,000 for that month's Roundup funds. And if we look at last year, 2015, those 12 months translated into $85,000. But the investment gets better. If we look at last year, the total expenses for Roundup to operate for the entire year was $2,000. And that comes in around 2 to 3%. So if we go back to my 21 cents, that 2 to 3% is less than a penny. So what did I get for my investment of less than a penny? Well, number one, I got LPEA, which is a very community-oriented organization, to join me and support me in strengthening our communities. And number 2, I got those 11 directors on the Roundup board to spend 66 hours approximately that month to effectively and efficiently distribute my 21 cents. The third is I didn't know what it cost to become a participant in Roundup. Well, the way Roundup works is if you are a participant, each month LPEA will round up your electric bill to the next highest dollar. So the maximum contribution you'd make in any month is 99 cents. The average participant contributes right around 50 cents or approximately $6 a year. So I have a request. And my request is that each and every one of you in this room, please consider becoming a participant of Roundup. And if you already are a participant of Roundup, please consider becoming a participant of Roundup Plus. So what is Roundup Plus? Well, Roundup Plus is where maybe you feel you can do a little bit more than your Roundup contribution. Again, going back to that month at 21 cents. I looked at that and I thought, I can probably do a little better. And maybe you might say, hey, I could do $1 a month. If you did that, well, in a year, that'd be $12 for your Roundup Plus, about $6 for your Roundup. So you'd be in the ballpark of about $18. Now, the reason for my request is that each month, the request for funds is much larger than the funds we have available for distribution. So we're trying to build a program, and we need your help. If you are a participant of Roundup, or if you are a participant of Roundup Plus, I have a message for you. And this message comes from the recipients of your donated funds, from the directors of the Roundup board, from the LPEA staff, and from our communities. And that message is, thank you very much. Your donated funds are sincerely appreciated. Well, folks, I hope you have a good lunch today. Please consider Roundup, and for many of you in this room, an early Happy Mother's Day. Thank you.